Greetings everybody and welcome to the first weekend of the 2025 Porsche Carrera Cup and Sprint Challenge of Brazil. It's the 20th anniversary of the first ever championship in this category, and it's great to be with you for a brand new season of great motorsport. Qualifying earlier this morning gave us two pole position sitters across the Porsche Carrera Cup and the Sprint Challenge, and we're kickstarting our coverage in 2025 here on the Autódromo Velocitta circuit with the Carrera Cup. I'm Jake Satson, great to be in the commentary box with you once again on this fantastically unrated circuit, 3.4 miles, 12 corners of uphill and downhill, plenty of peaks and troughs, and the changes of elevation and camber definitely give us plenty to be battling with, and there's going to be some tough races over the course of the next 25 minutes and one lap on this particular race circuit. The Carrera Cup first, and then followed by that, the coming into this first round of the championship. 188 drivers have started races in Porsche Carrera Cup Brazil. After this race is done, we can then make 198. 10 new drivers join the list of racers in the category in 2025. And it's going to be a fantastic battle for supremacy. 20 years of Porsche Cup Brazil have given us plenty of entertainment and drama. And we cannot wait for the next 20 years to kickstart with this first race of the 2025 season. Race number 285 in Porsche Carrera Cup Brazil's long history. One of the most colourful, charismatic, chaotic, cacophonic forms of motorsport. The Porsche Carrera Cup and Sprint Challenge of Brazil. Two championships parallel to each other here on the Autódromo Velocitta in Mogi Guaçu in Sao Paulo. A fabulous race circuit of 3.4 miles and very exciting corners and complexes. 25% humidity, 29 degrees ambient temperature with a little push towards 50 degrees Celsius for the track itself. 5 kilometer winds should give us a very interesting battle out on the course. But we're going to have some fascinating battles in the 2025 season. As you can see, the 30-second board is up and the drivers are about to head out for their first formation lap of 2025. 6 drivers on the grid have taken race victories over the past few years. Miguel Paludo, Ryan Mascherano, Thiago Vivacqua, Christian Hahn, Marcel Muller, the reigning champion, Alcy Feldman. Only Ryan Mascherano not here today, here for the season, but he will join in from round 2 of the championship on the very circuit we race on now, 2 weeks from now in the first weekend of April. And it's going to be a fantastic opportunity for Miguel Paludo. Although he starts down in 14th, if he takes a win this weekend, he becomes the greatest ever in Porsche Carrera Cup Brazil history. 19 pole positions, I should say, and 39 race victories. He has the chance to make history this week. Get grid full of incredible talent. So talking you through the starting grid for this one, 32 drivers make up this race, plus one lap. It really is a plethora of exciting talent. All the way through the starting grid, you're going to see superstar after superstar. Earlier on in qualifying, we had this monstrous accident for Herberton Cardoso in the Carrera Cup Sprint Challenge qualifying. Fortunately, the city of the accident, he is okay. He was taken to the medical center for checks, and so now we are going to continue on the race. Hope with him still watching as a spectator. Not sure how much participation he will take in the weekend, but as you can see for yourselves, one of the most monstrous accidents in the championship's history. Fortunately, though, as you can see for yourself, Herberton Cardoso was able to extricate himself from the car. It could have been a more dramatic start to the season. So our 32 drivers now getting themselves geared up, ready for the start of the season. Marcel Muller will be on pole position alongside Lucas Salas, a very aggressive front row of the starting grid. Second, alongside the new boy, the rookie driver, Matias Camparato, last year's F4 Brazilian champion. Third row of the grid, Thiago Vivacqua lining up alongside Miguel Mariotti, last year's Sprint Challenge champion. Then it's Elsu Feldman-Nito, the rusty car, alongside Rodrigo Melo. Elsu Feldman, his son, is 2 places ahead of him. Linu Perez rounding out the top 10. Christian Moore is alongside Rumen Zimkiewicz on the 6th row of the grid. 7th row of the grid sees Seba Malucelli alongside Beludo, all the way down in 14th on the grid. 15th on the grid for Yosimar Junior, no longer in his center helmet livery, but alongside Marcos Regadas in the Infinox car. Nelson Marcondes alongside Nelson Monteiro. They share the 9th row of the grid. Then Marco Billy alongside the teenage Antonella Bassani, working her way forward from P20. Carlos Campos is alongside Israel Salmen. Then on the 12th row of the grid, it is Gustavo Janon, who will line up beside Bruno Campos in the Porto car. Silvio Morastoni lines up in 20th. Francisco Horta in the Jolly Roger. Then it is Leonardo Sanchez alongside Marco Pisani. Difficult qualifying session for him down 28th of the grid. Edu Guedes, Brazil's answer to Gordon Ramsay, alongside Flavio Champao, lining up 30th on the grid. And finally, it's Paulo Sousa, who lines up 31st alongside Vania Pontes, as they both go the rookie victory. So the 32 drivers now working their way around the course. It'll be a very dramatic start to the season. If the man in pole position has his way, though, he'll be able to scamper away before any of that comes to blow for him. It's a very competitive field that we have in 2025. 5 drivers on this starting grid have all taken race wins in the past. Beludo, Vivacqua, Hahn, Marcel Muller and Elsu Feldman. And there could be a 6th different winner in Marcel Muller, the reigning champion, twice a champion, though, in the past, 2019 and 2024. Miguel Beludo has been champion 4 times in 2020 and 2021. And it'll be a fantastic battle. This is going to be race 285 in the championship's history. 8 rookies, 17 sport drivers, and 7 Carreras, all battling to become the first race winner of the 2025 season. And this is the first of our 2 visits to the Autódromo Velocitta. The second of those visits, of course, will be taking place 2 weeks from now. So it's going to be a very exciting start to the season. Muller, Salas, Hahn, Camparato, Vivacqua, Mariotti, Feldman-Nito, Melo, Feldman, and Linu Perez. This could be a fascinating challenge. Don't forget, we've also got Masters out there in the course. 5 drivers in the Masters category. Elsu Feldman, Nelson Monteiro, Carlos Campos, Edu Guedes, and Paulo Sousa. They come off the final turn. And who's going to get to the first corner first? Will it be Marcel Muller on the right or Lucas Salas on the left? We find out. Let's race at Velocitta for the first time in 2025. Muller holding the inside line. A bad start from Camparato. He might get around the outside of Christian Hahn. As they go to the first corner, everybody has held their nerve and kept it nice and tidy through the first apex. And now they climb the hill as everybody tries to get out of each other's way. And Lucas Salas has lost the position to Christian Hahn. So Hahn is into second position as they climb up through the S's. It's Marcel Muller who leads the way from Christian Hahn. Then Lucas Salas, a little bit of pressure in 5th position is Matias Camparato. He's lost the place to Thiago Vivacqua. The rest of the field swarms their way through the S's. So far, it's a clean start to the 2025 season. But this is the part of the circuit where everybody starts to climb. A little bit of a run wide. Elsu Feldman-Nito, who kicks up dust in the Lightning McQueen colours. Miguel Beludo already starting to take prisoners out there on the course. And it looks as though he's taken Seba Malucelli along for the ride. Meanwhile, Lucas Salas is trying to shake off Thiago Vivacqua. They run through the S's. This is where we had that huge accident this in qualifying. But so far, so good as the field works its way on this first lap of the race. Marcel, a very tidy start. Christian Hahn second, Lucas Salas third, then Matthias Campo behind Thiago Vivacqua. So it's already a very clean start to the 2025 season as everybody works their magic through the first few apexes onto the main straight to complete. It's Marcel Muller, Christian Hahn, Salas, Vivacqua, Camperata, Rodrigo, Miguel Mariotti. Start to the season. Everybody has already started working their way further forward. Very start. So could be more perfect. He's got himself into the lead. Stay with it in the moment. Lucas Salas is falling into the clutch. Trying to get his move on the inside line as well. And in Porsche Carrera Cup, this isn't like the other Carrera Cups around the world. These guys will absolutely go for broke and go for the move. Lucas Salas having to defend from Vivacqua down the braking zone, down the drop of the hill. As they go down this little crest, Vivacqua really hunting a move here from Lucas Salas. Salas is clearly holding up the pack. Look at that. Muller and Hahn have already got well clear. Vivacqua going to sneak up the inside line. But there's not a lot of room. Lucas Salas is not giving anything to chance here as they go into the hairpin for the second time to complete the lap. Matthias Camperata looking very hungry there in P5 as well. What about the other competitors in Carrera? Well, Paludo is up to 13th and Antonella Bassani, the 18-year-old, to 19th place. She's made up a bit of progress. And this is becoming a bit of a bottleneck as Paludo drives up the inside of Linu Perez and gets through. And Antonella Bassani is going to make a decent overtake up the inside of Nelson Monteiro. So that puts her into 18th place. Now she's chasing down Yosimar Junior. Well, Nelson Monteiro losing another position there. That looked like to Israel Salmen. So Israel Salmen's ahead of Nelson Monteiro as well. There's a bit of a challenge now from Carlos Campos and Leonardo Sanchez further back. So Nelson Monteiro really starting to struggle at this phase of the race. Meanwhile, Vivacqua's decided he's had enough. Dives in on the inside, gets the move on Lucas Salas, and the door is still open for Matthias Camperata. Camperata, the Brazil champion, putting his elbows out in his first ever race in Porsche Carrera Cup. Now diving again. Still Thiago Vivacqua made the move, has to bail out of his own attempt. But Vivacqua, it's in the first race of the season, up into third position on lap 3. Let's have another look at it. Fantastic run from Vivacqua. No second chances. He's been put in the middle of the road, so he thinks, right, we're just going to commit to Parato. Got his foot in, but just realises that they're going to have to bail out of this. Otherwise, we're both going to be spit out to the scenery. So Camperata now hunting down Luc Salas as Muller leads. Hahn is second, and they're already 6.8 seconds back from the race leader. Camperata is going to dive in for the inside line on Lucas Salas. And Matthias Camperata not even looking like a rookie. He's up into fourth position. What a start to his Porsche Carrera Cup Brasil campaign. Great racing from Matthias Camperata so far. Now he's P4. 20 minutes to go, plus the additional lap that comes after it. And it's Muller, Hahn, Vivacqua, Camperata, Salas, Mello, Mariotti. So Alcifel Manito running carefully there in front of Marcos Regadas. His father, Alcifel, him as well. Miguel Paludo has worked his way to 11th position now in front of Linu Perez and Christian Moore. And Malucelli, Zimkovic, Marcondes, Junior, and then Antonella Bassani up to 18th in front of Israel Monteiro. So Vivacqua and Camperata already trying to get well clear of Salas, and then it's Rodrigo Mello's turn. So Rodrigo Mello wants to get Lucas Salas out. It's really struggling for tires at the moment. And we're told that the start is okay. They always investigate each start just to make sure everything's all right. And it's been cleared. So the start procedure was perfectly all right. Nobody's going to run the wrath of the stewards on this occasion. And so start number 285 in the championship's history was clean as a whistle. Down the main straight again. 32, 510 brake horsepower engines screamed down the main straight. Alcy Feldman now under pressure from Miguel Paludo. It looks like a mistake there. Alcy Feldman, his father maybe all over it. A big mistake from Alcy Feldman. He drifts wide of the hairpin, he got onto the marbles, and that was enough to throw him off the road. Well, I'm afraid Daddy didn't make the same mistake, but his boy wonder did. Meanwhile, Antonella Bassani. Apologies for that. There is the problem for Alcy Feldman. I think he's got more than just running wide. I wonder if he's picked up a puncture. He had in right rear puncture for Alcy Feldman. That's why he drifted off the road in first corner. So Marcel Müller runs in front of Christian Hahn, then Thiago Vivacqua in front of Matthias Camparato, Salas, Melo, Mariotti, Regadas, and Alcy. But I'm afraid poor Alcy Feldman, his son, he has now got to limp back to the pits with a puncture. Marcel Müller definitely starting his 2025 campaign the way he wanted to. Certainly looking very confident in the early part of this season. And it's going to be a really exciting situation for Marcel Müller. Just to stretch well clear in the championship already in this first race of the season. Well, Alcy Feldman didn't make it back to the pits. You could see his car stranded there off to the sidelines. It does mean, though, that we will not get a safety car. So everybody else will be able to get away with the situation. Christian Hahn and everybody behind Thiago Vivacqua would probably have really loved a safety car because Marcel Müller is looking so confident in this track. And where is the rest of the field? You've got to wait a long time. There they are. Thiago Vivacqua, Matthias Camparato, and then Lucas Salas. And then we've got this incredible chasing pack up the inside. That's really late. It's not going to work. Oh, contact as Marcos Regadas completely misjudges the move on Miguel Mariotti. Mariotti was defending valiantly there, and Regadas just completely misses his moment. And now Miguel Paludo is going to try and take on Alcy Feldman as an enraged Miguel Mariotti will recover and rejoin the fray. But did Paludo get ahead of Alcy Feldman in all of that? He really needed to make a committed overtaking move to finish the job. We're going to see a replay. This is Regadas on Mariotti. And watch again. Feldman has a look. Way too late. Not even close to committed on the inside line. Mariotti was already in. And I think Miguel Mariotti has got plenty of reason to be in. Meanwhile, Alcy Feldman can't believe his luck. Game over. Replay of the start as well while we're at it. This is what a textbook start looks like in the Porsche Carrera Cup of Brazil from every angle. And the fans were enjoying that as much as we were in the box. And Marcel Müller got a textbook getaway. Christian Hahn able to get the John Lucas Salas in the early stages. And this is how Christian Hahn did it. Watch the blue car tucked up behind Marcel Müller. Wait for it. Salas was fractionally in front, but then Salas to drift out wide through the first radius of the corner. And that was enough for Christian Hahn. Better purchase off the turn and storm up into second place. Now Vivacqua is third. Fourth is Camparato. And in fifth place, Lucas Salas. Paludo has not made his move yet on Alcy Feldman. He's certainly been thinking about it. But to the overtake just yet. He's in eighth position. That's Nuno Perez, who is currently behind them at the moment. So Alcy Feldman, Miguel Paludo, and Luc Perez. Out through the hairpin. Paludo really wants to become the best driver in the history of the category. 39 race victory at the moment, make him the greatest of all time. And the incident involving Mariotti and Regadas is under investigation by the officials, and I'm not in the least bit surprised. Down to turn one. Very defensive tactics at the moment from Alcy Feldman, not able to take advantage of them. But then It's going to take a really bold move to catch Elsie Feldman out. This man who's won 5 races overall in Porsche Carrera Cup. And that is a spin from the 14. That's Carlos Campos. So Carlos Campos has spun his car up. And now to him. That's Lucelli, I believe. Battling away for position there with Edu Guedes. It might be Silvio Moristoni. My apologies. Oh, that's out. A little bit of a tap with Nelson Montero. And that was enough to spin Campos around. Orta just clips the rear of his car as well. So that's a frustrating moment in the race then. And I think Silvio Moristoni and Edu Guedes are now battling away with that particular stricken car as they try their best to recover. So there was Francisco Horta just at the back of that train. Looks to me as though there might still be an opportunity or two coming. Miguel Paludo all over the back of Elsie Feldman. Wants to find the move to get by again. But it's looking pretty tricky. We're already getting close to the halfway point in this race. And so far, so good as Paludo again pushes Elsie Feldman. Feldman hugging pit wall. Paludo going out far side up to get the inside line for the first turn. Not going to happen. Very well planted in the first part of the course. Not going to be the judge how this is going to continue. But certainly, Elsie Feldman wants to get clear away from Miguel Paludo and attack Rodrigo Melo, who is currently looking good for the sport class victory. So the sport class victory looking likely to go to Rodrigo Melo at the moment in front of Elsie Feldman and Linu Perez. In rookie, it's currently going the way of Leonardo Sanchez. He leads the way ahead of Bruno Campos and Silvio Moristoni. That's your top 3 at the moment. Of course, it's top 5 drivers that take away trophies in Porsche Carrera Cup Brasil. So if you finish your class in the top 5, you're going to walk away where? Still hustling Rodrigo Melo for the lead in the sport category. Melo is parking the car perfectly in these apexes, not giving Elsie Feldman a quick of a move. And that's a change of tyres by the look of it for Vanya Pontes. So I wonder if Vanya Pontes also picked up a puncture. So that's a very long day at the office then for the former Sprint Challenge driver. Vanya Pontes is going to recover, but only after losing a lap to the leaders. So Rodrigo Melo ahead of Elsie Feldman. And then in 3rd position is Linu Perez. That's in the sport category. 4th place in sport is Marcos Regadas, though he's under investigation, as we know. Zimkovic, Simon Malucelli, Christian Moore, and then Nelson Marcondes. Marcel Muller's in trouble. Marcel Muller's got a puncture. The Red Muller is the latest man with a puncture. Oh, the reigning champion in trouble as Marcel Muller limps back to the pits. The right rear puncture. Drama in the first race of the season. Marcel Muller is not going to kickstart his campaign with a victory. Drama at Velocitta. It always unravels on the circuit. And Marcel Muller, the man who's been leading the whole race, the whole weekend so far, has picked up a puncture. So that puts Christian Hahn into the lead, Vivacqua into 2nd, Caparato into 3rd, and into the pits comes Marcel Muller with strips of rubber flaming off the car. I'm not sure he's even going to make it back to the pits. Marcel Muller is out. And off the road goes the 80. That's Roman Zimkovic. Zimkovic has gone off the road. It's all kicking off here at Velocitta. First Zimkovic. Oh dear, it looks like the fire brewing with Marcel Muller's car. As around the outside of him, he's got someone coming into the pits, trying to avoid him. So Muller, I wonder if his right brake disc is on fire. What on earth happened to Marcel Muller? Something came off the car there. There goes the car. And something is broken. Something is broken for Marcel Muller. Meanwhile, we're going to see a move up the inside here from Pisani. He takes on Edu Guedes. So he sorts out the TV chef and gets through. I don't think this is going to be particularly happy about that. So here is your new race leader, Christian Hahn. What a dramatic turn of events in this race. The greatest man statistically in the championship, Miguel Paludo, way down the order. And the long-time leader, Marcel Muller, picking up a puncture. That means that Christian looking good for win number 5 in his career. Oh, what a dramatic turn of events here in Velocitta. And because of the lead he and his rival Marcel Muller managed to pull on the rest of the field, it is Christian Hahn who's gone well clear. Look at the squabble in the midfield now as that's Antonella Bassani charging her way forward up to 14th place ahead of Monteiro, Sanchez, Janon, Campos, Porta. Some great drivers that she's going up to battle with, but she's the head of the train. So Antonella Bassani, 18 years of age, definitely learning about life at the front the hard way. What a fantastic drive so far from Antonella Bassani. 20 positions she had to try and make up at the start of this race, and she's already made 7 of them, running in 13th place. It was Christian Moore that came to the pits as well. Investigation into what happened between Bassani and Edu Guedes, that's going to be reviewed. We'll talk about the drama in this one. Alcifeld Benito, Daniel Pontes, Rumen Zimkovic, Marcel Muller, all out of the race. And Marcel Muller particularly the most dramatic of the lot because he was leading at the time of his retirement. But a right rear puncture put him out of the race. So now it's Hahn, Vivacqua and Camparato looking good for his first podium finish on his debut. Antonella Bassani trying to get to the top 5 in Carrera Cup to come away with some form of trophy. Look at the litter and the rubbish and the debris that's all over the circuit. To the right of it, to the left of it, there's all sorts of flotsam and jetsam around the course. Multiple incidents so far in this race. I think somebody went off the road there just in front of Antonella Bassani. I think it might be Ezra Salman as Marcel Muller shakes his head. What on earth went... I don't get it. How did I retire from that race? How did I get a puncture? And how did the drivers around me avoid one as Paludo swarms around behind Alsu Feldman? Feldman getting closer to Rodrigo Melo. There's a stationary yellow flag at turn 1. I can't tell if it's for a broken down car debris. But for us, if that car as long as it's moved, but there is a very frustrated Marcel Muller. Slams the door shut in his pit garage. That's a victory, a certain victory, gone. So Rodrigo Muller has got to try and hold off from Alsi Feldman, who will try again. It will go long and try the switchback. Great stuff from Alsi Feldman. Don't forget, this is the challenge is usually now on the support bill of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix in Formula One. So these guys are building up to that. Paludo swabbing around behind Alsi Feldman. Feldman's going to go to the back and then it's around. Oh my goodness. More drama and chaos here. And Melo finds himself having to move his car right in the middle of the pack. So Alsi Feldman will surely get an investigation for that. And that's going to put Linu Perez into the lead of the class. That's what's left of Marcel Muller's tyre. Absolutely nothing left in it. They've got to try and make sure that car's going to be ready in time for Rev 2 tomorrow. Here's what happened. So Marcel Muller, suddenly the tyre delaminates on him and Christian Hahn drives around outside of him. Nothing Marcel Muller can do except try and get back to the pits. His best to, but I'm afraid he did it. So Marcel Muller out of the race when he was clearly leading it. But there's more drama. I see the incident again between Rodrigo Melo and Alsi Feldman as up the inside. That is Janon drifting out wide as he tries to make his move of Yosimar Junior. And it doesn't work out. So Junior is able to get him straight back. But there is a lot of rubber down on the road, a lot of debris. So I worry for the sprint challenge race later after this because I think they're going to have a really tough time of it as well. But this circuit can be very abrasive at the best of, and it's throwing all sorts of spanners into the works. Yet another crazy Brazilian motor race. Miguel Paludo hustles Linu Perez. Perez is trying to get the move here on Alsi Feldman. There's a lot of twitching and the braking. I think it's that drop down the hill where there's a lot of debris, maybe a few extra marbles at various points on the course that are making the braking zone very slippery. No surprises there. The incident between Rodrigo Melo and Chelsea under investigation. And it would not surprise me at all if Feldman gets a penalty. Out of the final hairpin. And on to Christian Hahn is your leader, then Vivacqua, then Cabarato, then Salas. Then this is the battle for 5th position. Alcy Feldman runs pit 5, then Linu Perez, then Miguel Paludo. What a drive from Paludo though. 14th on the grid. He now finds himself in P7. Next target, Linu Perez, the man who is leading in the category. If he doesn't get into hot water, he's looking good for the sport category. But interestingly, both Alcy Feldman and Marcos Figueras are also under investigation. This man isn't. Christian Hahn just cantering away. Look at the rubber that's there to the side of the road, and there's more! More melee! Paulo Sousa goes around in turn 1 now. So the Lisa Porsche number 25, Paulo Sousa spins around in turn 1. Did he do it on his own or was he assisted? And can he move that car? Because he's right on the racing line. So Paulo Sousa battling. Bazzani's going to get up the inside line. Does he bail out? No, he doesn't. Tags the back of Luis Sousa and spins around. Well, a lot of drivers are going to say, come on, where are the driving standards we were talking about all of last year? Where did they go? Sousa facing the wrong way then at turn 1. And his battle very much in tatters. Into the pits comes Thiago Vivacqua. Vivacqua's got a puncture. What is going on? Safety car out on the circuit. There's clearly too much debris. And now Thiago Vivacqua, from what was 2nd position, has picked up a puncture. Oh my goodness. This is one of the craziest Porsche Carrera Cup races I have ever seen anywhere in the world. Thiago Vivacqua joins the puncture list. He's got back to the pits. He wants to get out there. But this is exactly what Antonello Bassani wanted. He is going to finish in the top 5 in the category. And the safety car is out, which means we're going to finish under it. Oh my word. Bassani, the latest driver to benefit from other drivers' misdemeanors. As Vanya Pontes's car is whipped away, he picked up a puncture earlier on. So did Marcel Muller. So did Christian Moore, I think. So what happened? Let's have a look. This is the incident between Feldman and Melo. There were 2 points of contact, in fact, to pirouette him around. And Linu Perez was able to get around Miguel Paludo and pick up a place on him. So a double love tap. The safety car picks up field. And boy, oh boy, is Christian Hahn the luckiest man in town, because he picks up the leader of the safety car. But there's clearly so much debris around the course that there was just going to be more punctures. So that means that Matthias Camparato is going to be 2nd on his debut. What an amazing moment for the Brazilian F4 champion of last year. Christian Hahn leads, Matthias Camparato Salas is 3rd. Now, are we going to get a 1-lap sprint to the finish here? Or are we going to get a finish under safety car? Because it's 25 minutes plus 1 lap, and we've currently got 10 seconds left on the clock. So at the end of this lap, there's going to be one more. Whether it's behind the safety car or not, I don't know. 3, 2, 1, time is up. So now we're waiting for the leader to complete this lap, but will it be behind the safety car? It is going to be 2 laps behind the safety car. So clearly there is too much debris, too much flotsam and jetsam around the circuit of all kinds. So one of the craziest races I've ever seen. I would like to say it's the maddest race I've seen in Brazil, but I'm afraid that wouldn't be true, because it gets pretty spicy in the Stock Car Pro Brazil as well. But certainly the most dramatic start to the season. That had all the flavour of Formula One 1999 in Albert Park. And it looks as though it's going to be Christian Hahn who will come through for his 5th career victory in Porsche Carrera Cup in Brazil. Absolutely crazy race, though. So the safety car's lights are out. Are we going to get a one-lap sprint? We're going to get a one-lap sprint, folks. The safety car's lights are out. So, in case the safety car's going to peel in, and we're going to lap dash to the flag. Christian Hahn is going to have a time. But yeah, the lights are out on the safety car. So surely that means we're going to go racing. Because normally the safety car light would be on. They're not on. They're out. No, because the safety car has stayed out. Although, of course, the safety car does have a habit of peeling off at the final turn. Yes, indeed, Christian Hahn has spotted that the lights are out on the safety car. We're going to get a one-lap dash to the flag. Anything could happen. So Christian Hahn waits. Now he drops the hammer. He's gone for it out of the final turn. He's got to be careful in that final hairpin. But Christian Hahn is going to have one last lap. Charge away and bring this baby home. Into the final lap we go. Green, 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 green. Christian Hahn leads the way. Matthias Camperano in second. Third for Lucas Salas. Arthur Feldman is going to try and dive in from the inside of it. Beludo comes into the back of Feldman. A little bit of a nudge. 17 of Marcos Regadas. The concertina effect shuffles them all closer together. We got away with that one, but that was pretty scary stuff. And it looks as though there's pulling off. It's the 25. That is game over, I'm afraid, for Paulo Sousa. So Paulo Sousa, having had his spin earlier on, gets out of the way. It is Ultima Volta, the final lap. And Christian Hahn leads Marcus Camperato. Lucas Salas trying to hang on. Feldman dives in at the inside, goes for broke, runs wide, and gets a penalty for the earlier incident. It's going to be 20 seconds. Salas is going to retain his third position. Up comes Lino Perez to fourth. Up comes fifth for Miguel Beludo. Beludo's got damage to his left front. And somehow Alcy Feldman slots in front of Marcos Regadas, but he has got a 20-second penalty coming for his earlier incident with Rodrigo Melo. So despite all of that, the victory is still going to remain with Christian Hahn. Here he comes into the final hairpin, the craziest start to a Porsche Carrera Cup Brasil season that you're ever going to see. But for the fifth time, Carrera Cup Brasil, the race winner, Christian Hahn, he opens his campaign in 2025 in victorious fashion. Matthias Camperato, what a debut in second place. And Lucas Salas third in front of Lino Perez and Miguel Beludo. Wow, what a start to the season. Christian Hahn's mechanics celebrate on the pit wall. And I have to say, it's going to take some beating. First race of the year proves to be one of the most chaotic the championship has ever produced. If you wonder why after 20 years we still find this sport so fantastic, that race was why. Paulo Sousa and Alcif Manito sitting on the sidelines, waiting them all home. But Christian Hahn takes the victory. Lino Perez takes the victory in the sport class. And we'll look further back the winner in the rookie class. That is going to be Leonardo Sanchez. Well done, Christian. Tough to hold your nerve in the middle of all of that. One of the maddest races I have ever seen in motorsport. And Christian Hahn is the man who comes through to take the victory. Matthias Camperato, second on his debut, the rookie driver. I think we've just found ourselves a new superstar. Third position for Lucas Salas. There, the rookie class winner, Leonardo Sanchez, Vencedor performance. And a great race full of drama that went right, just 26 cars of the 32 that started. And I'm afraid that penalty applied to Alcy Feldman. He drops all the way at 26. So Christian Hahn takes victory then from Matthias Camperato and Lucas Salas. Lino Perez is fourth, ahead of Miguel Beludo. Then Marco Seba Malucelli and Ivo Salmen. Antonella Bassano started 20th, 10th. Brilliant work for her. Nelson Montero in 11th, 12th place for Leonardo Sanchez. 13th for Yosemar Junior ahead of Gustavo Janon, Bruno Campos, Carlos Campos, Francisco Horta, Miguel Mariotti, Silvio Morostoni, and Edu Guedes, Iago Vivacqua. Marco Pisani is next, and then Rodrigo Melo, Marco Bill, Champao and Alman. But it's a victory. Absolutely crazy race. Way to win it. Just an astonishing display of chaos and controlled aggression as Christian Hahn becomes the first race victor of the 2025 season. Excellent display. So we're going to have 5 drivers on the podium there in each of the 3 categories. Now, Bassani is going to be on the podium of the Carrera Cup category. Lino Perez starts his sport campaign with a race victory. Very, very well deserving for Lino Perez. The car in fine style in the rookie category. Leonardo Sanchez is your winner in rookie. And indeed, he gets the win in front of Bruno Campos, Silvio Monastoni, Edu Guedes, and Marco Pisani. Well, there you go, folks. That's how a season is meant to start, in chaos and anarchy. There really was plenty of that, wasn't there? As Christian Hahn continues his tradition, his 5th race victory in the Porsche Carrera Cup of Brazil. And certainly one of the craziest races seen on the Autódromo Velocitta. What a nail biter that one was. Absolutely astonishing. And of course, straight after the podium ceremony, we'll get straight into the action for the sprint challenge. That's where we're going to see Leonardo Herman lining up in pole position for the first time in his career, alongside Geração Campos, and then Lucas Locatelli and Sadok Leiter are going to be the next cars in tow. But an absolutely bizarre race that kickstarts our 2025 season campaign in the Porsche Carrera Cup of Brazil. And it couldn't really have been any more crazy than it was. Several cars facing the wrong way. Many punctures littered the course. And all sorts of flotsam and jetsam as drivers tried to stay out of trouble. Tiago Vivacqua didn't. Nor did Alcifel Benito, Vanya Pontes, Rumen Simkovic, Marcel Muller or Christian Moore. Vivacqua, despite his puncture, did actually manage to get going again, I should point out, and came home in 21st. Edu Guedes. But it doesn't change the fact that that is genuinely one of the maddest races you will ever ask for. And so to our 5 drivers on the podium. And of course it is the overall top 5 that we get first. So Miguel Paludo is P5, Lino Perez is P4, Lucas Salas is P3, Matias Camperato on his debut is in P2, but on the top step of the podium it is Christian Hahn. Somebody needs to let Miguel Paludo and Lucas Salas know that they're wanted on the podium. It is protocol in motor racing at this level to make sure you're on the podium. There we go. There is Lucas Salas making his way to his 3rd spot on the podium. And there is Miguel Paludo. A great jump back from 14th to come home in P5. But that is the kickstart to the season that we really couldn't have asked more from. A great result for Miguel Paludo from 14th on the grid to P5. Lino Perez picking up his first sport class victory of the season. 3rd position for Lucas, kept calm despite the problems in the opening stages. Matias Camperato, what a debut for the teenager. Lifts another winner's trophy. A fantastic start to his season. The Carrera winner in 2025's season opener. His name, Christian Hahn. As the boys celebrate in style, the boys from Brazil get busy with the fizzy. And it's Christian Hahn who gets to celebrate in fine style. A great victory, an absolutely superb drive, dealing with the chaos around him. Other drivers, particularly Marcel Muller and Tiago Vivacqua, picked. Christian Hahn did not. He drove calmly and coolly to get the job done and steal the victory. What a great start to the season. He now has 28 points to add to his tally in the Drivers' Championship. That'll do nicely for him and the crew. What a way to start the season. Christian Hahn, your race victor in the first of our 2 races for the Porsche Carrera Cup Brasil this weekend. Their second race will be tomorrow. But straight after this one, we've got a victory in the waiting for the Porsche Sprint Challenge. So do stay with us here on Motorsport TV. So Christian Hahn celebrates the win in the main category. We've now got the sport class podium. 5th position for Israel Salmen. Good start to the season for him. 4th place for Sebu Marcelli in the 100% car. 3rd place, Abasik Nelson Marcondes. 2nd for Marcos Regadas after a very tough race, but the win goes to Lino Perez. A terrific performance in Carrera Sport then for Lino Perez as he takes the victory in Carrera Sport and gets even busier with the Fiat than he was at the end of the first podium. Great stuff from Lino Perez. That's what will mean most to him, taking a victory in the first sport class race of the season against 16 other drivers in that one class alone. Lino Perez fought valiantly and made sure he was the one on the top spot of the dais. Next up, of course, will be the rookie class podium, and that's going to see another very deserving 5 drivers on the rostrum. Good effort all round, and a very secure victory then in the end for Lino Perez. The team are happy with that. His crew, very pleased with the work that's been put in. Lino Perez in particular, very happy. There's your podium in the rookie class. 5th position for Marco Pisani. He lifts his trophy in P5. 4th place for Edu Guedes. A very good performance from him. 5th place for Silvio Moristoni, his first race out of trophy into the challenge. And a 3rd place. 2nd position for Bruno Campos. He can be very happy and satisfied with that. But it's Leo Sanchez who gets the Carrera rookie victory. Excellent work, Leo Sanchez. Not been that long, of course, since he stepped out of challenge into the world of Carrera Cup, and he can be very happy with the victory in this one. I love that Leo Sanchez wasn't particularly bothered about until everybody else started getting on with it. So the UBS Porsche, Leo Sanchez sealing the deal after a fantastic battle, working his way through the traffic and staying out of harm's way. Great effort for Leo Sanchez. So Christian Hahn, Lino Perez, and Leo Sanchez are our 3 race victors for the first race of the season. We're not done yet here, though, at the Autódromo Velocitta. We're now going straight in for the Sprint Challenge, the first race of the season for the Sprint Challenge. Another 25 minutes and 1 lap go on the timing screen. And for the silver chrome Porsche, number 23, Leonardo Herrmann is in unfamiliar territory. His first ever pole position. He lines up alongside Geração Campos, a man who'll be wanting to take the victory right away from him. 2nd row of the grid, Lucas Locatelli alongside the challenge leader, Sadek Leiter. Mario Delala on the grid alongside Caio Castro. And then on the 4th row of the grid, it's Matthias Roque alongside the very talented lady driver, Cecilia Bello, who's already in the top 10 in her first qualifying session of the season. 9th on the grid for Caio Chavez, absent from qualifying the final run. Claudio Reina, the leading rookie, 10th on the grid. Daniel Newman is alongside Jose Morin, won last year's Trophy Challenge Championship, now stepping up to Sprint Challenge. 13th on the grid for Mockenson Marquez, alongside Luis Souza, who had a great chance from 14th on the grid. Then William Araujo is going to be lining up 15th on the starting grid, alongside the returning Andrei Gaczynski. It's been almost a decade since his last competitive tout. George Filio lining up alongside Everton Cardoso. Hopefully he will take the start. And then it's Fernando Oruda, who lines up alongside Rafa Brocchi. And then the final row of the starting grid sees Ricardo Zilberman alongside Rafael Bernardes, who finishes out. Well, I can update you and tell you that the latest news is that Everton Cardoso will not be taking up the start of the race. He's due to be lining up in 18th on the starting grid, but after his monstrous accident in the qualifying session this morning, he'll be taking no further part today. The doctors will obviously assess him to see if he's available to race tomorrow, but I wouldn't put money on it at the moment. After a ferocious accident, one that we saw at the beginning of our programme, the brief highlight of qualifying, Everton Cardoso will obviously miss the first race of the season in Sprint Challenge. If you thought Porsche Carrera Cup Brasil was chaotic, wait to see Sprint Challenge. These guys have less experience, less understanding of time, certainly less understanding of racecraft. They're still in the process of learning it. So if you thought the Carrera Cup race was crazy, this is going to be potentially even more so. Leonardo Herrmann and Geração Campos on the front row of the grid. Luc Locatelli and Sadek Leiter on the second. We're on board with Leonardo Herrmann. Very tough situation for the silver chrome driver out in the lead race. Also got a camera on board Gaio Castro as he tries to fight back from sixth on the grid. The build-up has been long enough for the Porsche Sprint Challenge Brazil season to kick off underway. Carrera Cup just gave us plenty of excitement and drama with chaos right the way to the last. If you think it's going to be any different Sprint Challenge, think again. Herrmann, Campos, Locatelli, Leiter, Alala, Castro, Roque, Rebello, Caio Chavez and Claudio Reina, and as come off the turn, it's lights out. Let's race at Velocitta in Challenge Brazil for the first time. Good run from Geração Campos. He might go right round the outside of Herrmann here. Herrmann's going to drift out wide, and it's going to be chaos in the far side. Lucas Locatelli, he's going to try and put his foot in and take the lead, and I think he has. Lucas Locatelli kept his foot in, and I think he's managed to get ahead of Leonardo Herrmann through the first corner. Yes, he has. So a good start then from Lucas Locatelli as the leading duo drifted wide in the first hairpin. Herrmann down to second. In third, that looks to me like Mario Delara, who's worked his way forward. No, that's Matheus Roque. Matheus Roque is into third position from seventh place on the grid ahead of Geração Campos. So a mad start to this race then. I did say it was going to be tricky in Sprint Challenge. But Leonardo Herrmann is all ready to take on the race leader Lucas Locatelli. A bit of dust kicked up as we go to the top of the crest. Down the back straight. Then Herrmann already fancying his chances on Lucas Locatelli, who pretends sideline. Look, it's fairly deep through the S's. This could be a chance for Herrmann to get back in touch. Matheus Roque will start, finds himself in third in front of Geração Campos, and in fifth place, that looks to me like it could be Mario Delara. So as the drivers work their way forward, they complete a very strange lap to this first part of the race. But across the line, there we go. Herrmann has got through ahead of Locatelli. Herrmann got ahead of Lucas Locatelli there. Just as I was looking at my timing screen as well. Terrible timing. Down to the inside, Geração Campos is trying to take on Matheus Roque. Bit of a run wide again from Leonardo Herrmann. This could be enough for Locatelli to put him under some pressure. And it's Caio Chavez who finds himself up in fifth position. Well, charge forward from Caio Chavez, who is in a spare car. That's why it's not the purple car we started the day with. Up the crest we go. The inside, Geração Campos is going to try to take on Matheus Roque. Roque is going to try to hold the car round the far side. Watch for Caio Chavez. He could try. Geração Campos keeps his footing around the outside. Chavez does likewise. So up to third goes Campos. Up to fourth goes Chavez. And round the outside, we could get another great overtake. This time from Mario Delara. And Delara sticks his foot in and gets the move. Nothing Matheus Roque can do about it. So Leonardo Herrmann takes the lead then from Lucas Locatelli after the start. Let's ride on board with Leonardo Herrmann. Here's what happened. Run wide from Locatelli. That'll do in the final turn. And Leonardo Herrmann takes the lead back. So Locatelli, look, he just kisses the curb on the inside line. Leaves the door wide open. Leonardo Herrmann says, all right, I'm not going to lose this lead for long. I'll take it back. Thank you very much. So Leonardo Herrmann back then in front of Lucas Locatelli. And look, Herrmann has started to pull clear of Lucas Locatelli. Up over the top of the crest. And the gap opened up from half a second to 2.2 seconds. Leonardo Herrmann pulls out a 132.0 while everybody else is in the 133s. Mistake from Campos. No, move from Campos. Mistake from Locatelli. as Geração Campos gets into second position then. So Lucas Locatelli, that's Caio Chavez, is going to fourth ahead of Mario Dallara. Bit of a twitch from Locatelli. He gets grass. Chavez is to his left. He can't afford to be too aggressive on turning. But Chavez is looking for a move this way. In that of Lucas Locatelli, can't get through to the inside line. Now going to have to wait till they get to the braking zone to the top of the hill. Locatelli pulls across the line and dives in though. Chavez is going to try and get a better exit off the hairpin. Locatelli on the grass again. Chavez waits for his move. Gets a bit of run on the inside, but Locatelli again pulls across his path. And behind them, we've got Mario Dallara. Still in the mix. Cecilia Roberto has stayed out of harm's way in seventh in front of Caio Castro. Then Daniel Newman and Sadak Leiter. Sadak Leiter's had a miserable start to this race. Locatelli is really struggling here to keep his man behind him. Caio Chavez really is missing it now. Geração Campos having got into second position, but a twitch from Locatelli as Chavez touches the back end of his car. Marley gets a good run off the turn and almost runs into the back of him himself in sympathy. Here comes Caio Chavez, side by side down the pit straight. Is Chavez going to go right round the outside of Locatelli in turn one, or is he going to find himself with a whole heap of mud? He gets the nudge, he cuts back across, having dealt with Mario Dallara. Now gets the run for the next left-hander on the inside of Locatelli, and he's made it! Brilliant from Caio Chavez. Locatelli's in a world of trouble here. Mario Dallara's got in front. Matthias Rock's been held up, and Cecilia de Bella here as running wide off the top. Caio Castro losing the grip on the car. I think everybody's struggling on this surface. I think this could be yet another race of punctures galore. We're going to see a replay of what happened there. This is Locatelli drifting out wide, and Chavez somehow cut across the line and managed to sweep by. Beautifully done from Caio Chavez. That was almost the racing game overtake there from Caio Chavez. Beautifully executed. There is the 77, Mario Dallara. Herman is your leader. Campos is second, trying to catch him. And that's how much time they've lost now to Chavez and Dallara. Locatelli is down 5. Roque in 6th, Rebello in 7th, then 8th is Castro, Newman, Leiter, Araguayo, Marquez, Gajinski, Marina, Mononito, Aruda, Broca, and then Souza and George Filio. Despite all the badinage we've seen in this race so far, everybody is still circulating and nobody has lost half a minute to the rest of the field in any incident. So it's still pretty chaotic stuff, but it's pretty tight to the wires. Claudio Reyna is about to get a bit of contact into turn 1. It's Jose Mononito. Hurry, man, get out of the way. I want to get your third position off you. Thank you very much. That's the position in the rookie category, of course. We know that overall in third position, it's Caio Chavez, but this is for the podium positions in rookie. Jose Mononito up the climb up Claudio Reyna, who was 10th overall at the start of this race, don't forget. But since then, he's had a miserable time of it. Both Newman and William Arayo have managed to get ahead of him in the class battle. Several other cars too. Claudio Reyna finds himself no longer in 10th place, now down to 14th. And having to deal with the onslaught of Jose Mononito over. Bit of a drift ride from Claudio Reyna and down the braking zone. Caio Castro trying to seize the moment on Cecilia Rebello. But Cecilia Rebello wipes to the overtaking move there. She defends well, and her next target is going to be Matthias Roque. Take it one step at a time. Very capable in the world of Brazilian of late. So this is just going to continue to be a good opportunity for her to move forward. Matthias Roque clearly has problems with his tyres in front. Up over the top of the press to finish the lap. And we ride on board with Caio Castro, 8th position at the moment, ahead of Daniel Newman. Look at the travel in the steering wheel. Cecilia Rebello drifts wide in turn 1. There's a lot of wrestling that's having to go into the steering input, certainly in Caio Castro's car. But it wouldn't shock me if it were. A lot of trying to hold the car and let this go. Castro really is putting Cecilia Rebello under a lot of pressure here. But Rebello is soaking it up. She's doing a fair job. This is a replay of Rebello. Oh, how close was that to contact? Caio Castro suddenly read it as well as he could and thought, right, she's going to chop across my path. I'd better bail out of the overtake. That's how he lost a lot of races last time. Now he's going to make his bounce, Rebello. But he bounces back to the other side of the race circuit, plots up again behind Cecilia Rebello and waits for his next moment. 16 minutes of this still to go. Plus the additional lap. Let's ride on board with Caio Castro. Listen in. He's up to the back of Cecilia Rebello's car. But he's got pressure from Newman and Sadak Leiter right behind him. Down the main straight again for Caio Castro. Hoping that Cecilia Rebello is going to be the one that makes a mistake at the two of them into turn one. Cecilia Rebello looks very much the match at the moment. There's Leonardo Herman, losing time consistently now to Geração Campos. Been setting a string of fastest laps. There is Geração Campos. So the gap is not even that much between them. It's only about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds most days. But they're on the inside line. Geração Campos trying to find a little bit more pace than Leonardo Herman. This could pay dividends for the race strategy going into tomorrow, of course, for all the drivers here. Herman still leads. Geração Campos second. Then it is in third place, trying to chase down. On board with Leonardo Herman. Life is good in the lead. Leonardo Herman has taken class victories before. Certainly not an overall victory. This is going to be a very tough race for him to win emotionally if he manages to hold on to it. Right up against the pit wall there initially for our race leader. Leonardo Herman having a great race of it, but Geração Campos has the fastest lap, a 1:31.321. They're only about 4 seconds or so from the pace of that record set by Dennis Duran back in 2020. Of course, in the Carrera Cup category. Now, this is Claudio Reina, and a little too close for comfort, Jose Morenito. Basically pushing him around the race circuit. He's auditioning to take over from Mr. Chipperfield at the circuit on the Dodgems there. It's certainly quite the manoeuvre he was hoping to execute in this race. Ah, the spin from Locatelli! Locatelli spins right in the path of Matis Roque and gets spat out over the curbs. I'm amazed he can even recover that. But Lucas Locatelli, the back end of the car, pirouettes around and rejoins right in the path of... Now that's going to be Sadak Leiter, I do believe. So let's see what happened. Lucas Locatelli just drifts onto the grass, but he kept his foot in. Lucas, never keep your foot in. You're on the grass like that, because the car is just going to pitch around and going to lose 25 more seconds minimum than you would do if you just rolled off the and let the car coast. Locatelli rejoins, but a lot of the damage to his weekend is well and truly done in that one spin. So now it's all going to come down for Leonardo Herman in the lead of the race. Second is Geração Campos, then Caio Chavez, ahead of Mario de la Roque, Cecilia Rebello, P6 by the way. Castro, Newman, Leiter and Locatelli, who has rejoined Justin Araujo. So there is Lucas Locatelli. Look, none the worse for his little pirouette. Could have been a lot worse than it was. So there is the 33. That is car. Willie, the man who's putting Lucas Locatelli under some pressure. Meanwhile, Leonardo Herman has still got a little bit of intrigue here. Geração Campos is still dangerously close to Leonardo. And only one of these two have won an overall victory victory before, and I bet it's not the man in the lead. Oh, and a spin! Another spin. This time it's George Filio. So George Filio spins the number 5. Should be able to get that going again, or at least parked near a Marshall's post. I think it very much depends on what the cause of the spin was. Well, he's getting back into the race, so George Filio clearly feels he's been hard done by in some way. Whether that's driver error or another car got too close, we have yet to find out. So Leonardo Herman leads Gerson Campos. They've managed to coolly pull away about 10 seconds clear. So Caio Chavez currently in 3rd place. There is Gerson Campos putting Leonardo Herman under all the pressure he can muster at the moment. If he can just encourage one slip up from Leonardo Herman, and we do see him make a couple of... Look how close Gerson Campos is compared to what he was 2 to 3 laps ago. He was sort of there, but there was no real faint hope for extra communication between the two men. Campos all over the back of Leonardo Herman again. Braking zone. Herman is putting the car exactly where it is required. No major catastrophes for the moment. So Herman holds on through the S's. 2nd. Still for the moment, Gerson Campos. Working their way through on the far side again. 10 minutes to go, plus the additional lap, of course. And this win for the victory isn't over yet by any stretch. Leonardo Herman has now got to control his pace, look after, and make sure that in 5 minutes' time he is still there or thereabouts to win this race. Smoothly, Leonardo. So the field continues to navigate its fate through these winding apexes and very complex sections. Through to the curve, up towards the back straight again. And Leonardo Herman has got 9 minutes of this to endure. It's a bit like asking Rocky Balboa to still put up a decent fight when Cassius has worked his way further forward. Here they go again. Down to the braking zone for the chicane. I think it was Clubber Lang rather than Cassius Clay. Of course, Cassius Clay wasn't fictional, whereas Clubber Lang most definitely was. It's been a long time since I've seen the Rocky movies. Leave me alone. Gerson Campos still putting a lot of pressure on the back of Leonardo Herman. Just a little bit more commitment, a little bit more patience from Campos, and this race could definitely turn around. He may not even need to make the overtake happen. He may just need to stay close enough to Leonardo Herman that when he makes a mistake, he drifts wide. That'll do faster a race victory. It's never easy though in the Porsche Sprint Challenge in Brazil. Further back in the pack, we've got a great battle brewing. Sadek Leiter is having a real tussle here with Daniel Newman. And Cecilia De Bello doing everything she can to fend off Caio Castro, who dives in. Rebello's going to try, but that's job done for Caio Castro. So Castro gets ahead of Cecilia De Bello. That is good enough for P6. So now De Bello needs to fight back. But at this moment in time, Cecilia De Bello is looking for a podium in the class. So why would she stress too much? Inside line, Caio Castro decides, no, not going to sit and look at that rear bumper anymore. I'm going to dive the car in. I'm going to gently glide it. I know how this car behaves. I'll just get my move my way. Dangerously intense now as Leonardo Herman is trying to push the man behind him, Gerson Campos, off his rear spoiler. But at the moment, Gerson Campos is so smoky, he's probably smelling the graphic stickers on the tyres of the car in front. The final hairpin. transmission over the top of the breast, over the top of the crest, I should say. Over the top of the bray. I knew what I was going for at some point. 6 minutes 24 left in this race. Working the way through on the far side. Geração Campos using a lot more throttle coming out of the first hairpin. That's the kind of move that's going to put Leonardo Herrmann on the back foot. Through the right. Down the drop. Up the crest. Through the left. Plenty of curb used there. And Geração Campos twitching as he runs behind Herrmann. Oh, it spins off! Leonardo Herrmann spins from the lead. Drama again here in Velocitta. Marcel Muller got a puncture in the Porsche Carrera Cup race, and Leonardo Herrmann spins out of the lead in Sprint Challenge. Geração Campos was ready to force the mistake, and Leonardo Herrmann pitches the car around, loses the race. Oh, Leonardo. You've got to feel for the man who was on pole position. He just did too wide in the corner, tried to save the car. He was on the marbles. Game over. Oh, Leonardo Herrmann. It was all going so well. And for Geração Campos, wrapped victory. Oh, big accident! Two cars in together. That's Marcos and Marquez. And he's gone in there with, I think, Claudio Reina. That could be a red flag. Never mind the safety car. As currently, we've got a close battle brewing here between Daniel Newman and Lucas Locatelli. But I've got a feeling we're going to have safety at the very minimum here. Big contact out on the circuit between Marcos and Marquez, and it's actually Jose Morenito. So Jose Morenito is what safety car, 4.5 minutes to go in the race. And Geração Campos, who's only just taken the lead of this race away from Leonardo Herrmann, who did recover, by the way. But Geração Campos is now the race leader. But a huge accident. Let's see what happened. Going to see a replay. Jose Morenito getting side by side, and he's just cut across and across and across. Bang! Dear oh dear, big jump for these two. As Marcos and Marquez just pulled across to the racing line without really looking to see whether Jose got alongside him. More drama, more pandemonium in Porsche Sprint Challenge Brazil. I did say, if you thought the Porsche Carrera Cup race was going to be crazy, it's very difficult to predict that Sprint Challenge will be more tame. Well, Geração just be on his way to the second place, by the way. Can we just give a big shout out here to Caio Chavez, who started 9th position, don't forget, because he had a mechanical problem in qualifying. It means he has race car to one of the spares. And now he's in second position in front of Mario Dallara, Matthias Roque, and Leonardo Herrmann. Then Caio Castro is in P6, ahead of Cecilia Rebelo, and then Sarah Gleiter. Then it is Daniel Newman and Lucas Locatelli. Now, there is a slight difference to the regulations in Sport and Rookie in the Sprint Challenge. There's another problem. That's George Filio again off the road. That's George Filio off the road on safety car. So I have a feeling that the officials are going to take very dim view of George Filio under safety car. Of course, the argument is, if you're under safety car, then you're certainly not going fast enough to spin off the track, are you, good sir? So you could get the book thrown at him for that. Now, what I was going to say before is that in Sprint Challenge, if you race in the sport or rookie categories, you are racing against each other. Well, that's game over for Marcos and Marquez, who stepped out of his car and just decides to watch. That means to say that if a rookie beats the sport driver, he not only wins the rookie class, he wins the sport class as well. So we occasionally get a very rare scenario where it's possible that this driver in the field is a rookie, then he has won Carrera, Sport, and Rookie, all in one. And Caio Chavez, of course, I think was the one who got dangerously close to doing that if not actually doing that last season. On board with Leonardo Herman, who cannot believe what has just happened. He was leading the race, gone onto the marbles, threw away the victory, and then a safety car came out. If he'd have held on just another 25 seconds, he would be leading this race. Safety car lights are on. Will they go out, though, before the time is down to 0, with enough time to get a racing lap in? It's hard to tell at the moment because we've got a minute left on the timer. I've got a sneaky feeling this race may finish on the safety car. But then I said that during the Porsche Carrera Cup race earlier on. So the big question is going to be, how long will the safety car need to stay out? Mind you, the accident earlier was nowhere near as much damage. Safety car lights still on. Would be turning out if we were going racing this time. I've got a feeling this race is going to go to a safety car finish. Safety's got to come first, though. So out in the top 10, the drivers had one objective: to put themselves into the top 10, go for the victory in this one. Well, it looks like it's going to go the way of Geração Campos, who will get a very deserved victory, having been very calm and very patient throughout. Here are the time. The seconds ticking down, and the safety car is still out. 3, 2, 1. End of the lap. And then we're going to go into the final lap of the race, the Ultima Volta, which is going to be behind the safety car. So I'm delighted to say that Geração Campos is going to be the race winner in this one. Not been an easy charge to push forward. Then Carlos Chavez in second place. Mario Dallara will be very happy indeed with third position ahead. Matheus Roque and Leonardo Herman. So the team can celebrate a victory in Geração Campos' garage. They know that the safety car is on the last lap. There's nothing, and nothing anyone else can do for that matter, because Geração Campos has been so clean, so smooth. It's exactly what you want from a driver at this level. And it's going to bring down the curtain on the craziest opening race of any season for a long time in Porsche Carrera Cup Brazil and then Porsche Sprint Challenge Brazil. We are referring to 20 years of Porsche Carrera Cup racing in this gorgeous country. A way to end the first race of the season. Chaos in the Carrera Cup. Absolute insanity in the sprint. There are a few people you should feel sorry for in that race, though. Particularly, you've got to feel 27 to 28 seconds more patience and composure and discipline. And he would be the one winning this race under safety car, not Geração Campos. But motorsport is all about taking chances, throwing the dice and going for a big gamble. And on this particular occasion, it has been a very exciting and intense run from Geração Campos, who comes out of the final turn. The safety car will peel out of the way, but they have to finish the race still under safety car conditions, as off the final turn, Geração Campos is going to receive the checkered flag. Excellent performance from Geração Campos ahead of Carlos Chavez and Mario Dallara. Well, the craziest first two races of the season. Nobody would have expected it to be quite so dramatic. But it's a victory for Geração Campos and his crew. Race to win for Geração Campos, but he put Leonardo Herman under all the pressure in the world. And that's how he got the job done. Top banana, Geração Campos. A great run to the top of the sport category for Mario Dallara. Rookie comes through for third overall, which means he'll take a pair of very impressive race trophies home with him over the course of tonight. And looking back in the pack, you've got to look down in ninth position for the number 21 of Daniel Newman. There is the winner then, Mario Dallara in sport. But if you look even further back, there is a winner in rookie. And that, my friends, goes the way of the number Daniel Newman. Well, a crazy start to this season then in 2025. I genuinely wouldn't have predicted much drama in the first two races. It certainly had plenty of it in the Porsche Carrera Cup of Brazil and the Porsche Sprint Challenge of Brazil. Daniel Newman, venture winner. So now is getting their way back into the pits after what has promised to be an absolutely sensational opener to the season. We certainly got that. And now, of course, remember that in both Porsche Carrera Cup and the Sprint Challenge, here we get the Race 2 starting groups on the results of Race 1 with either the top 6, 7 or 8 reversed. We don't know which number it's going to be yet, whether it's going to be the 6, 7 or 8 that takes into. That will be sorted out by a draw later this evening. So one thing we can tell you is that if it's the top first, it is going to be Sutter who takes pole position for race 2 tomorrow. If it's the top 7, is a very happy camper. Who is the man alongside though? Mario Dallara can be absolutely ecstatic with his victory in the sport class. Third. What a way to start his journey in the Porsche Sprint Challenge of Brazil. Gerson Campos, the flamboyant, and very deserving too. Two very happy winners, one in Sprint Challenge, one in Sprint Sport. Campos and Mario. Great starts to the season for those two. And then the third winner is the man who crossed the line in 9th position for Sprint Challenge rookie. That is Daniel Newman, who had all problems of earlier on in the qualifying session, and now he works his way through to take the victory in the rookie class. So there it is, folks. Gerson Campos taking it in front of Carlos Chavez, Mario Dallara, and then Matias Roque from Leonardo Herman. After his spin, he recovers to a very disappointing P5. Then Caio Castro, Cecilia Rebelo, Sarah Gleiter, David Newman, then Lucas Locatelli, William Araujo, Andrei Gaczynski, and then Kleina in front of Rafa Brocchi, Rafael Bernardes. Then it's Luke Souza ahead of Fernando Arruda, Ricardo Zilba, Filio. Just 2 retirements. The collision earlier on that saw Jose Benito and Marcinson Marquez were actually his only retirements. A very crazy pair of races then. One in Sprint Challenge, the other in Carrera Cup. And I tell you what, these guys really have got their work cut out tomorrow if we're getting as an intense starting grid as I think we might. Only the top 6, 7 or 8 will end up taking their positions on the starting grid in reverse order. So there we go, folks. The results. Gerson Campos taking the win from Carlos Chavez ahead of Mario Dallara, Leonardo Herman and Caio Castro. From Cecilia Rebelo, Sarah Gleiter, and Daniel Newman ahead of Lucas Locatelli. 2 big spins in the field then, one for Leonardo Herman and one for Lucas Locatelli. They could have been top 3 without any of that nonsense. There's the spin. Just as we were seeing that, we can go to our first podium ceremony. And this, of course, is the top 5 that we get here. Leonardo Herman is going to join on the podium. He still takes a podium finish, but it isn't the one that Leonardo Herman wanted. He's got the courage and the sportsmanship, though, to celebrate and shake hands with Gerson Campos, the race winner. Leonardo Herman, a very solid P5. P4 for Matias Roque on the left. And for Mario Dallara, he'll be so happy with that 3rd place. 2nd for Caio Chavez after his return from the back of the grid. But victor in the Sprint Challenge, the opening race of the 2025 season, is Gerson Campos. Bring on the battle in 2025. It really is going to be a sensational race season. So the celebration kicks off in style here in Velocitta as an absolutely jubilant Geração Campos gets the party in full swing. He can be very delighted indeed with that start to the season. He knows now, of course, that he'll be starting no less than 8th on the starting grid, with the finishing results of that race counting for the grid tomorrow, with the top 8 positions put in reverse. So there's many multiple ways you can reverse things here in the paddock and put a 6, 7 or 8 in the draw. Those drivers were hoping that when they flip reverse, it'll be our turn to run on the front end of the starting grid. Geração Campos, though, under safety car conditions, brought the car home ahead of Carlos Chavez. So we're going to get to see the top 5 drivers across the sport category. Don't forget that rookies are included in this particular podium. So it looks as though the 5 drivers are going to be Lucas Locatelli, Daniel Newman, Cecilia Rebello, and Mario Dall'Ara. Here is that second podium ceremony there. There is Cecilia Rebello, who will make her way to the podium for the very first time in Porsche Carrera Cup's second tier, the Sprint Challenge of Brazil. And the drivers all making their way to the podium positions. Of course, not everybody is aware they're meant to be there yet. Where's Lucas Locatelli? 5th position after all of that melee. So Lucas Locatelli should join the drivers now on the podium. And that will finish off. Well, Locatelli has not come to the podium. So next is Daniel Newman. Cecilia Rebello picks up her trophy, her first trophy in the Porsche Sprint Challenge of Brazil. 3rd position in the sport category on her debut. A great performance in 2nd position from just up the road, Matthias Roque. But it's Mario Dall'Ara who comes through. Your party there, Lucas. He does get to lift his trophy, but not until after everybody has already lifted theirs. I think he may get a little bit of a slap on the wrist for that. But the podium ceremony in full swing, and it's a great victory for Mario Dall'Ara. His first race in the Sprint Challenge. He has come through for a victory. A star is born yet again in the Porsche Sprint Challenge of Brazil. And he's definitely one to look out for in the 2025 season now. Everybody knows just how effective and patient and calm he can be to get himself the most out of the tyres, but more importantly, the most out of himself to thrust his way through to what eventually became 3rd place. Would have been 4th, I think, if it not been for a couple of misdemeanors elsewhere. But certainly a great result for Mario Dall'Ara. Now we'll have the rookie and the 5 drivers that will take to the rookie podium. Rafael Bernardes, Rafa Brocchi, Claudio Reina, William Araujo, and Daniel Newman will be the man on the top spot. A great start to the season then in the Porsche Carrera Cup Brazil and the Porsche Sprint Challenge Brazil. We may have had all sorts of flotsam and jetsam around the race circuit. What we didn't have was a little bit of monotony. We didn't have that. We had an amazing race. And here is the final ceremony. 5th position then for Rafael Bernardes. Great start to his campaign in Brazil. 4th place for Rafa Brocchi. Claudio Reina in a very solid 3rd position. 2nd place for William Araujo. But the race victor in the challenge rookie category, Daniel Newman. Great performance from him and a very solid and smooth effort all the way through the weekend. He could easily have taken the pole position in qualifying had it not been the closing stages. But now the boys from Brazil get busy with the fizzy one last time here on our Saturday afternoon here at the Autódromo Velocitta. And so we have our 3 different winners, Geração Campos, as well as Mario Dall'Ara and Daniel Newman. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that. 2 fantastic races to start the ball rolling in 2025 from the Porsche Carrera Cup Brazil and Porsche Sprint Challenge Brazil. The Autódromo Velocitta always delivers in exciting fashion. The good news is that we'll be doing it all over again tomorrow in fantastic fashion. 45 minutes later than today's broadcast, we will do it all again for 2 epic races around the Autódromo Velocitta. From all of us here on Motorsport TV, from Mike Cardoso and Nicola Ottolou, who are instrumental in making the coverage happen, from Jake Stanton in the commentary box, a massive thank you for watching. We'll see you again 45 minutes later in today's broadcast, race 2 of the Porsche Carrera Cup and Porsche Sprint Challenge Brazil. Tomorrow, right here on Motorsport TV from the Autódromo Velocitta. Bye till tomorrow.